had the wrong mic on. Hey, welcome back to Ladies Night. I hit the wrong mic the whole time. Hope that sounds a little bit better for everybody. Guys, welcome back to the female POV. Not Ladies Night. We're going to have to cut that out. But it's been a while since we've done this show. We've got a great panel of ladies. Some returns, some newbies. Yeah, we're really excited to bring this show back. Hopefully, we can do it every single week. I know you guys have been missing this, and we're really excited about it to bring it back and continue giving you guys these fun panels and fun shows. So, ladies, just like we did backstage, with the exception of the hot take comment, we'll just go down the line. It'll be your name, your age, where you're from, what you do, and your current relationship status. Why don't we start with Rachel?
I'm Rachel. I'm 35. I am from New Jersey. I'm a fashion designer, and I am divorced.
And casual dating, yes?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Because we want to know currently too, right? So, but that makes sense.
Yeah, currently just casual.
Okay, right on. Monica, on to you.
My name is Monica. I am 36 years old. I am a business owner of a dog subscription box service called Bark and Style. And I'm currently single but dating seriously.
Elizabeth?
Hi, I'm Elizabeth, and I live in the Bay Area. I'm 32 years old. My dating status is exploring.
And you're in
Human resources.
HR. Oh, Lord. My goodness. What are we going to do with you? Angie, on to you.
Hi, I'm Angie. I'm 36. I'm from Sydney, Australia, and I'm a stay-home girlfriend.
Anna?
Hi, I'm Anna. I'm currently in Massachusetts. I'm 33, and I am very happily taken, and I guess you could also say I'm a stay-at-home girlfriend.
Angelina.
Hi, I'm Angelina. I am currently in LA. I'm 28 and I'm an actor and model, and I decline to state my relationship status at the moment.
No problem. Bethany, round us off.
Hi, excuse me. Hi, I'm Bethany. I'm 24. I'm from Las Vegas. I'm a model and act there as well.
And you said you were in a relationship, yes?
Yes, happily in a relationship.
Perfect. Awesome. We got a great mix tonight. And you, sir, Spencer, give your no. We got a good mix tonight for everybody. This is really cool. So we've got a mix of a lot of stuff. We've got women in relationships. I'm trying to figure out where I want to start. So Monica, you added something. You said single but dating seriously, and Rachel, you're dating casually or dating for fun. So, like, what's the difference between the two? Monica, are you talking about I'm looking for a husband, and Rachel, you're just kind of having fun? Like, what do we mean there?
So, yes, I'm looking for a husband. I have not been married. Rachel is a friend of mine, so I support.
Yeah, we better disclose. Monica and I are like besties.
No, this is like my best girl right here.
We've gone on the Girls Gone Wild trip together. So.
I love this girl. So, like, honestly, she can do anything. Nothing's wrong in my eyes. But I guess where I'm at right now is like I'm looking for like a husband. I haven't experienced that yet in my life, and I think that's why I'm taking like long-term relationship status seriously.
What has been your like previous relationship history like? Were you in long-term relationships before? This didn't work out? Like, what's that been like?
Yeah, I've been in long-term relationships. I was living in New York for a period of time, and so I was doing like the long distance thing. It just became very complicated because the guy lived 3 hours away. So I'm not good at distance. I'm good at like more, you know what I mean? So they're like good at like seeing the person continuously. And that's the only way sometimes you can get closer to somebody, at least for my personality type, is through seeing them on a continuous basis, right? You can only get so familiar with somebody. And like, so yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. And
would any of the women here do a long-term relationship? And let's say, I mean, I think 3 hours is borderline. You can drive 3 hours. I mean, yeah, I would say long distance. Maybe, what do we mean by that? Like a time zone? But would anyone, why or why not? Let's just go around. So like Rachel, long distance, yay or nay, and why?
Well, I started long distance with my ex-husband, but like, I don't know, there's different situational things. Like he and I are from the same hometown, and he was finished college. I was just starting college. So we did the long distance, and like it worked out
But
for
it
a little bit.
started out as you guys knew each other already, and it turned into long distance, right? Is that what you're saying, or am I wrong?
Yes. Yeah. Like we met in the
Right on.
same area, and I was
Okay.
going to college. So.
Okay, got it. Monica, you made your kind of point. Elizabeth, what about you?
Yes, I would be okay with a long distance relationship. I think there's a quote that I heard before. It says, "Distance is what keeps the heart persistent."
Interesting. Okay. What would be like the maximum distance? Like, do you care if you have to fly back and forth? Does it have to be within driving distance?
I don't think I would put a maximum driving distance. If it's someone that's worth my time that I feel like fits into my life, then I wouldn't necessarily put them in a box of I can't go that far.
Okay.
Really comes down to that. How strong is that connection?
Angie, I know this is kind of a weird question given your status, but let's just, I mean, say you had to start over tomorrow. Like, is there a long distance relationship in it for you, or is it absolutely not? Or does it
I
depend?
actually met my boyfriend. He was in Sydney. I mean, he's now. I was actually from Melbourne, so I moved here. It was only for a month because it was just too hard to get to know somebody long distance. So, you know, like depending on if he's a potential, obviously, like it's better to be close and get to know them that way.
Anna, has your thing kind of long distance now with you moving?
Yeah. Yep, technically. So I go back and forth. I basically go back and forth between Massachusetts and like the Tampa area. So technically we're kind of doing long distance and it's fine. I mean, it works, yeah.
Angelina?
I think long distance does work. Uh, Speaking out of experience, I've dated people who lived 8 hours away and dated people who lived in a whole different time zone. So it's all about effort and making the time for that person. And I believe that if there's 8 million people in the world, why would someone that lives 20 minutes down the street be your soulmate or your husband or wife or whatever?
Or someone that lives 8 hours away?
Yeah.
You can make the same argument, right? Like, you could say the thing
Yeah.
about the other. Yeah.
It's all about like watering that grass. The grass is not greener on the other side, it's greener where you water it.
Bethany, what about you?
So me and my boyfriend started out as long distance because he travels for work. I think it can work, you know, you just have to put in that effort, and if you both work at it, I think it's possible.
I'm actually surprised by this, that there's so many of you that are either doing it or have done it. It's pretty wild to me. I mean, it sounds like maybe as long as there's an expiration date around the distance, but you talk to a guy like me or a guy like Spencer, it's like and unless it's under extenuating circumstances, like you got to move for a short-term thing or you're going away for a little while, I have a very hard time recommending guys would get into or stay into long-distance relationships. I just think with the way that guys want that connection and intimacy and like in the way that men and women are different and the way they express that, I think it works great for women because a lot of times they're still getting their emotional needs met. They're being able to still talk to the guy and like they can still get attention from the guys if they want to. I'm not saying they're going out and seeking it, but the guy is like kind of stuck out on an island. It's if he has to see you maybe once or a couple of times a month tops, especially if he's like a good looking guy that could get women that are close to him. I don't know. I have a hard time with it unless it's got like an expiration date on it. I just think it's too difficult for guys that want to be close and sexually intimate, like with their women to put up with for more than a very short time. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
No, you're like 100% spot on. Like men and women are so different. I mean, that was definitely a challenge that my ex-husband and I faced when we were doing the long distance thing, and he expressed that concern to me. And I guess I was just persistent. And like you said,
Just
What?
beat him down into submission.
Not quite. But like you said, like there was an expiration date. Like at that point, like
Yeah.
I only had 3 years left of college. So okay, we got through the 3-year thing. And then like we're from the same hometown, so summertime we spent the whole summer together. So to your point, expiration date of the distance.
Yeah, I'd say college is like the one exception.
I was going to say college is
where-
different.
where-
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, even then it's like, I don't know, because like I did it in college. I did the long distance relationship and it sucked. I didn't like it at all, but like I did it because I was in the relationship beforehand, and then college happened, and like you don't have a choice. So I was going to do it anyways. But like, would I now, now that I'm graduated college, would I go into a long distance relationship again? Hell no, no.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't either. So
Can I speak to this a little bit as well from
Please.
like somebody that did the distance thing? So
Yeah, absolutely.
the expiration date that you have kind of mentioned, I think also it depends on like what your expectations outside of the expiration date is, right? So you can go into a relationship being one version of yourself and coming out a completely different version of yourself. And so at the time entering it, I was, career driven, but I eventually wanted to continue going down my career path and advancing in certain areas of my life. And so I think like it's okay to also like to separate, right? And realize it's not working for you. And I guess where I'm going with all of that is just like we had like different points that we were looking for in our lives of how we evolved.
It's interesting that you brought that up. I'm sorry, I'm typing a private message to Angie. I think she's having some hard time hearing us. Sometimes we're having some issues with StreamYard. It's interesting you bring that up, Anna, because you kind of, and this isn't a gotcha by any means. I'm just kind of curious because you seem very smart. I want to see how you respond to this. So you said something before the show, and this is very common, right? We hear this a lot. Like you have to understand yourself, figure out the person that you are, love who you are, these kind of things before you get into a relationship. But then you also turned around and just said you can get into a relationship and everything about you can change on the other side of it. So it's like, if we're on a time crunch, if we should be, I think we should, if we should be maximizing the amount of the majority of the amount of time we can to finding someone, if that's what we want to do, especially if you want to have kids, vetting takes a long time, right? Like relationships, when it comes to that, you could be in a few long-term relationships in your 20s and then wake up and boom, 35, whatever, 40, 50. So if that's the case going in, then like, how do we know? Is it worth all of the extra time that people like to take to heal and find themselves and do all of these things where it's like, you're just going to change who you are anyway, because you're going to find somebody that you're going to do things different for. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah. How do you
Get
know?
where you're going. I would like to say one thing.
Yeah. Okay.
I think before you get into a relationship, we should all already be that one entirely whole. But if you do get into a relationship, the two parties have to kind of mold themselves to fit into each other's life, because it's not something that's sustainable. Like if I tell someone like, hey, my lifestyle is like this, and every weekend I'm going to be in the events, and especially if he wants to see me, like I'm going to start molding my life to fit his life also. But I'm already a whole on its own. Why would I not mold my life to make space for someone that I want to see a future in a long term?
Okay. I mean, I could see that. I don't generally recommend guys do that. I generally recommend, go ahead.
I think personally, it should be both parties. Like it depends. Like if a woman has a job that she's trying to, in the future, maybe she wants to get a remote position. But in that moment where the guy has met her, she doesn't have a remote position. If he does want to pursue something with her, then he would pursue it with her. It depends on just if that connection is strong enough, he will make a way. And he'll mold his life a little bit to make a way and make space for her. But it also depends. How strong is that connection? And does he want to pursue it? It comes down to that.
Definitely want to come back to that. Monica, I wanted you to finish your point.
I just think like it comes down to like, like your solid self and your understanding of like what you're who you are, your needs, your triggers, your boundaries, like self-love, your love languages, all of that, right? All of that is different for all of us. And so I think when you're going
Love
into
languages are not true.
They're not allowed on this show, actually.
they're
Just get you
not
banned.
allowed. Okay.
No.
You mention them, like they kick it. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I think like you have to like understand who you are as a person, and like that can shift. So you're asking like, you know, like about like before the relationship versus like the future and building all of that together and things like that. I think like for you, it's like understanding where you're at and like who you are separately from another person, like your own identity, right? Your solid self versus another person. And I think like you should always do the things that make you feel solid in yourself. And you can do things to like please your other person or be with your other person and like mold to each other, right? To, you know, get to know your other person, but I don't think you should lose sight of yourself either. And if that person matches into that lifestyle, you know, where you guys can overcome certain things together, certain obstacles, they bring out the best version of yourself while you're continuously working towards the best version of yourself, then I think it can work, a compliment to your soul.
See, like, I truly believe that you like believe everything you just said. Obviously, you do. You seem very convicted in that. You do. The tough part for dumb meathead, good-looking guys like me is you said a lot, but I don't know what to do with any of that information. Because, like, to me, it's like, okay, on one hand, it's like figure out who you are, but then mold yourself. It's like, but if they make you better and they're a compliment,
why does it have to be black and white though? Can it be gray?
Well, no. What I'm saying is like it's. I'm not saying that it has to be black and white. I think the point that I'm trying to make, it's like if there's all these variables at play and we can't really make up our mind, like why can't we just be like, hey, I think you're good looking, I think you're hot, like let's make some babies.
Well, is that enough? Is that enough for someone? It might be.
I
enough.
mean, it's
For
been
guys, it is. For
enough
girls,
for
it's not.
it's been
Sorry.
enough for the history of our entire species since the beginning of time.
You know,
it's
it's
only
a
now
choice.
recently changed, right?
Everything's a decision. So you choose the person you want to be with. But for someone like myself, I know exactly what I'm looking for also, and that's why I'm being a little bit selective with my dating. And you know,
So like, what are you looking for? What are you kind of looking for? Like, what's your ideal guy?
So my ideal guy is empathetic. He is very career driven. He's kind. He's self-aware in that he knows his triggers, his boundaries, a lot about himself and old patterns and why he might be reacting to certain things. I think my ideal guy is very family oriented. I'm very family oriented. I'm a little bit traditional in that sense. And just a kind person. I think like kindness above all, you know.
Does he need to make more money than you?
No, I'm fine in that aspect. I will never
Would
need
you
to rely on a
be
man.
okay
Yes,
being the
yes.
breadwinner?
Yeah, honest.
Rachel says no. She's telling on you.
Rachel's like, nah, boo, nah, boo, make it rain. I'm good. Like, honest to God, like I am not bragging in any way, shape, or form. I have, I will not struggle in that way ever.
In terms of what?
Financials.
Like financially? Okay. No, well, I didn't mean it like that. So the reason I ask, first of all, I think it's good that you have that level of awareness that is not a deal breaker for you, because for many women it is. And it's not even their fault. A lot of it is semi-subconscious. It's like women tend to date either people at the same socioeconomic like rung on the ladder or above. It's very rare, or they just don't do it like date down wise. And the reason I brought up the money piece is because like we hear this stuff a lot. He's got to be nice and kind and caring and family oriented. And there's a lot of dudes out there that fill all of those, but they're like 5'3", or they only make $50K a year flipping burgers, or they don't really do anything interesting on the weekends, or they've never seen The Godfather. So like they don't understand art. They don't understand XYZ. They're not very interesting. So, but they can be nice and kind in a lot of these things. So I always find that, you know, fun to kind of point out, which again,
Well,
in this,
Monica did
go ahead.
also say that he has to be career driven. So I
Career-driven,
imagine you're
right.
not okay
Yeah, man,
with
but, like,
dating a guy. who's
I'm like,
flipping burgers
if I'm
and
flipping
dogs.
burgers, like, hey, dude, one day I want to own this like thing. I want to go from flipping
Yeah.
burgers to being like Ronald McDonald. Like that's career driven. Or I just want to be the
That's
best
great,
burger
but at
flipper I can be.
At 36, I'm not looking for one day. I'm looking for you're there, you know, like, and so I guess that's the differentiation.
That's
It's
fair.
like
No,
You
I
know,
agree
like
with that.
maybe at 25, I would have been like, hey, your aspiration is to own a bunch of McDonald's, you know. But if I'm at a certain point in myself, I think that it makes sense for you to also be a little bit more developed. I'll always support people, though. I have certain values, right, that are important to me that I look for in a person, like health and education.
So like he doesn't necessarily have to make the same amount of money, but you want him to have the same sort of ambitious attitude, like entrepreneurial mindset kind of deal, which
Heck
is still
yeah.
really, really rare, right? Like extremely rare in men.
Oh, I guess so. And also, like, I'm really into fitness. Rachel and I are
Oh.
trying. Can I mention
It's getting
it?
worse. It's getting
Go
worse.
for it.
Go ahead.
We're trying with the third girlfriend who should really be here to do the half Ironman. So, like, I would love to have somebody also. Why?
This is badass. That's why.
Because we're
Why?
badasses. Because we're.
I thought this was what does that have to do with men and dating? Is that like
It has everything to do with it because if
how so?
someone is not into fitness,
She doesn't
like
want to
that,
date someone who's not as active as her.
or like
An
smokes
Iron
weed,
Man?
I'll
What are you?
out,
What is
like,
this? What are you training for the Olympics? An Iron Man? That's
Yeah,
I mean,
let's
look, more
go.
power
Half,
to you.
half.
Don't get me wrong. Oh,
Half. No, not
then it doesn't count.
ever, honey.
Then it doesn't count. I understand what you're saying. Only thing I'm trying to point out is just like there's a very small percentage of men out there that fit the description that he's more ambitious than an already established entrepreneur who's training for Iron Man, right? Like that. It just okay. It is what it is.
That's why you date.
Yeah, I guess that's true. So we have 2 stay-at-home girlfriends on the show. Usually we only have one, Angie. We have Anna now. So, Angie, you said something before the show that I don't know if a lot of women would agree with. I'd be curious if they would on this panel. Is that if men need dating advice, they should find a man who has what they want and then ask him how he did it. I think modern dating advice and most women would probably say, oh, well, I'm a woman, so I know what women want, so he should ask me. Like, where do you fall in that debate?
We don't know what we want. I mean, we do, but like it's I think all women just want like a not a good man. What do you call it? Like responsible, respectful man. And to be that, you got to ask another man, right? Like because I think women, we just select the best out there or what we can get, and then we settle. That's what I think. So then to get there, like you ask another man who's done it. Why ask me? Like I'm a complimentary in your life. I'm not like, you know what I mean? Like I want to be complimentary in your life. Like I'm not gonna be the breadwinner. I'm not gonna be the one that support the family. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm here to compliment you. So don't ask me. Like I don't know how to be that.
Ladies, what do you think about that? Like, do you think guys would give guys better dating advice, or do you think women give better dating advice to men?
Man, for sure. Because women, we react most of the time. So like reaction is not, there's no standard from a reaction, you know what I mean? Like, but men, normally you set the standard, like you set how things are, like you set the rules. So then you ask another man how they set the rules, because normally women, we just react.
So do the women agree on that point, that the man in the relationship with, like, he sets the rules, he says what the deal is, and like that's what it is? I see Angelina shaking her head. Go ahead. Who sets the rules, if not the man?
It's a collaboration. So the man should lead, yes. However, the man should lead correctly, because there's many men who will get a woman and then lead her to her downfall. So meaning like there's plenty of guys who will be that leader, be that protector, provider, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that will be a good man, because that's one that has like good intent. However, there's some that pretend to lead, and they will lead you towards all like the wrong path. They will try to deter you from reaching your goals. They will stop you from seeing your friends. I know someone who was just homeless because of a man like this.
But can't women leave? Like, do they? I mean, it's you can leave, right?
Yes,
Like,
however, there is
if you see
yeah.
them going down the path of destruction and leading to homelessness, like, at what point are you like, maybe it's time to pull the ripcord on this?
Well, there is a such thing as manipulation, and some people are very well subjected to it, and they just don't know any
Women?
better.
Are you saying
So,
women are easily manipulated?
yeah, because I think women tend to. I don't even know. I think it varies. It varies.
Okay,
I
I'm
feel
just
like
asking
both can
questions.
be
Don't shoot the messenger.
manipulated, but I wouldn't say that a man is better off giving relationship advice. No, I would say it goes
Why not?
either way. I don't think women are just so emotional because I myself am very rational. I don't go off emotions, and my partner before was the emotional one. So I don't think that every woman is going to be so emotional, just like I don't think every man is going to be so rational.
Angelina, I had such high hopes for you about 15 seconds ago. You almost did it. Like, you almost, and then you went back and you like corrected yourself because I think you understood. You heard what you were saying. Again, like, look, I was like, oh, women can be manipulated, so why should they vote or go to war? Like, so no, but you're like, oh well, like different people, different strokes, different folks. Like, yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I hear it a lot. I've given up trying to fight that one. But what I will always point out is that whenever women disagree with something that's like a generalization, they'll be like, well, I don't do that. So I don't know. Anyway, all right. Let's go around the panel. Who else? Who else does not think men should take dating advice from other men that women would give it better? Who would give better dating advice?
I think it's discernment, right? Like you decide who is giving you the advice, right? Like, it doesn't matter on your gender, or it just matters on
But it does though, right? Like, I don't mean to cut you off, but like, you don't want to lead a man. You don't want to have to tell him what to do. You don't want to have to be the one making decisions, right? Like,
right. But if you take things with a grain of salt, and then it comes back to knowing your true self, right? And like what is best for you. And so I think you can't just place it all on like one, like you can't do that.
Goodness gracious.
I know plenty of men who give bad relationship advice to their friends for shits and giggles. So,
like, what's an example?
Like, I know someone who went to a friend and was like, "Oh, hey, I want to tell my girlfriend about this, but I don't know if I should." And they were like, "No, don't." And then finally they told their girlfriend about it, and then it turned into like a whole big ordeal. And I was like, "Why wouldn't you just talk to your girlfriend about it?"
Because it turned into a big ordeal, so it sounds like he should have just kept his mouth shut.
No, but it was something she should have known. It was something she should have known for sure.
According to who? This is what I'm saying, right?
According to everyone else that found out about it, she should have known. And he, like, yeah, nah, that was.
All right.
Well,
he was shysty about it.
You said it was for shits and giggles. Was the friend actually trying to mess with him, or did the friend legitimately think he should not have told her?
Let's just say this person is notorious for giving people shitty advice, whether he wants to or not. Take that what you may.
Besides the point, what I wanted to come back to, besides the point, the specifics, not necessarily important. What I mean, and the whole point of it is that this is something we hear a lot, and this is something that I think is a reason that a lot of women are like bumping their head on the ceiling, so to speak. I think that a lot of women that are looking for the guys and the leadership and like the high, achiever and the high earner and all these kinds of things, it comes with caveats still. It's like, if a guy is busting his ass every day, day in, day out, taking care of you, doing the things he needs to do, risking himself, working the long hours, protecting from intruders, all of these things that a man is supposed to do and that women want, real leadership. The last thing that a real competent guy wants is to constantly have his leadership questioned. And it's like, what I'm hearing from you women, from the ladies, for you ladies, is you can lead as long as I agree with the decision. Well, that's not leadership, is it? That's like servitude almost, right? So I think it's going to be really tough for. I'm hearing an echo. What is going on?
Who's echoing?
Wow.
I think it's
Maybe
because Elizabeth was on twice. Yeah.
Yep.
It's okay. I was on a freaking roll there too. That's okay. So
Run it back.
so that's kind of my thing. I think that's where
really
it's going to be tough. So it's like I think it's like, why would a guy want to get into a relationship where his leadership is constantly questioned and constantly second guessed? Like, how is he supposed to make decisions if he's constantly like, you want a man that's decisive, right? You want a man that picks the restaurant. You want a man that says, do these things X, Y, Z, just so I can put my hands up and take a break. But how can he do that if you're picking and choosing when you decide that you like agree with his leadership or not? Like when it's like cafeteria leadership, essentially, pick and choose.
I think there's direction and there's compromise, right? So like you like take direction and like you're submissive and you're like a good woman in some respects, right? But then there's compromise and like meeting your person and like being able to hold like a conversation and, you know.
But it's easy for you to be submissive when you agree with the decision. It's easy for you to be in the feminine and sit back when you already agree. I'm talking about when you disagree and you still are like, I don't think this is the right move, but I trust in you to make the right call, or I'm going to defer to you. I think this is the thing a lot of guys are struggling with. It's like, yeah, it's totally easy to say, hey, it's cool. Like, I'll be submissive. You can lead because I already agree with what you're going to do. But it's like, I think we should go left. You think we should go right. Is there a scenario where you don't agree, but you'd still say, nope, it's your call? Or is that like where the fight comes? It's not meant to be a gotcha. I'm not trying to stump anybody here.
No, you have a really good point. I'm like trying to think of
Yeah,
what to say
no.
back to you because you have a good point. But I think also to your point, like there's a lot of men who like just can't be that leader. Like
I'm not disputing
That's why
that.
you pick right. That's why
Who
selection
here
is
has dated
important.
a bad leader?
Yeah.
I'm
What?
not disputing
What is
that.
it? Did you ask?
He's asking who dated a bad leader.
Yeah. Who here has dated a bad leader?
I wish I had more
How so?
hands.
Okay. Name one scenario of a guy you dated who's a bad leader. What's the worst thing he did?
I don't even. No, I can't talk about that.
Air it out.
You know I want to. You know I want to be that messy person. No, I can't do it.
Piss him off. He's
I-
not
I
watching.
defer.
If he is,
No. Maybe he is. I get stalked a lot. I will say this. There has been a time where we quite literally got lost because this person was like, oh, I know where I'm going. And I said, are you sure? Because I also know where I'm going. And they were like, no, you can go this way. And I'm not going to go into too many details, but we got lost. And I was just sitting back, like, just for the ride because I'm like, I'm going to be able to tell you I told you so. And I'm the freaking Rican. I'm still going to go off on you at some point because why did you not listen to me?
Seems
And
pretty innocuous, don't you think? Like
now
getting
you're getting
lost
the
in
personality.
directions seems a little small potatoes, don't you think? Right? Like, got
I mean,
lost.
if you're out in nature and your livelihood is actually in jeopardy, then like, sure.
I don't know. I think we're splitting the hairs here. I think it's a little nitpicky. I think what we're talking, we're trying to bring up like real high stakes where it's like, I trusted this guy who took this job somewhere else, and turns out it wasn't what I thought. He was making as quarter as much money as he told me he was, and he tricked me in all these ways. But it's like we got lost in the woods one time.
I mean, there's worse stuff, but I'm not going to talk about it because like,
See,
I don't want to be messy.
that's all right. That's okay.
She'll air it later.
Yeah, we'll talk offline.
I'll tell you
Let's get to
Rachel, you put your hand up as well, right?
what, me?
Yeah, you put your hand up as
Okay,
well.
mine's
Dated a bad
pretty
leader?
simple. I have a pretty simple like way to describe it. I guess like in my past marriage, I was kind of the one driving like where the relationship was going. Like, this is the next step. This is the next step. Okay, so next step was like we need to get a house. And to Muff's point, like the man is supposed to be provider. Like, I'm making the decision, we're doing this. And I had to be the one that was like, okay, we need to buy a house. So there you go. Like, that's where it started to fall apart. Like, we couldn't get to the next step because I didn't have a
What'd you
leader
need to buy a house
saying,
for? Why was it so important to buy a house?
I mean, it's not, but that's something that he wanted. And that's something that's like, okay, you get married, you buy a house, you do this. Like, we were following the steps that you're supposed to follow the steps.
According to
I'm
who?
confused.
Whose steps?
You're saying he wanted it, but you were driving it. So who really wanted it here?
Well, I'm fine buying a house too. Like, it's just supposed to be like a simple analogy here. Like, your next progression is we buy a house together to like start building a home to prepare
But why? Because some people say, like, because the internet says so?
No.
That's the American dream.
It's just an example. Like, I was actually totally fine staying in the apartment and renting the apartment to save money. And that's a combined goal. Okay, we save money to build for our future, whatever. But I'm just trying to give you a simple example here. Like, I selected a leader to get us to the next step. And for us, we determined that the next step was to buy a house. And we just couldn't get to the next step. And I had to push and say, let's buy a house. And then there was never any progression. And then it just became a standstill. So did that answer your question?
Kind of, but like the way it's being, and I know you're not framing it in this way, and I'm not downplaying it, but it's like what I'm hearing is house more important than husband, house more important than marriage, keeping up with the Joneses and getting more stuff because we're supposed to, more important than the husband in my actual relationship. That's just, and I know that's not what it's supposed, I think, means, but when guys hear that stuff.
I lost you for a second.
Okay, we come back.
Yeah, I don't know.
We still
the
have you
video dropped for a
audio
second,
wise.
But
check your tabs. We still have
do you
your
have my video?
we don't have your video because it's on your phone, so it's probably you're like on a different tab probably. Or if you need to go out and come back in, you can. And then we'll pump back to you. Oh, you're back. And here I gone. Okay. While she's sorting that out, I want to get to Bethany. You've been really, really patient. So you are the youngest on the panel. No disrespect to the other ladies, whatever. Age is just a number. Don't get mad about it. You said something that I thought was really sweet that I really hope I don't have to. No, but you said find your best friend. Like that's your dating advice. So like, how do you mean by that? How do you go about doing that? Like, what does that look like?
I mean, for me, I didn't really have any expectations going into a relationship, and I was kind of casually dating around. And like I said, he was traveling for work. I didn't really expect for both of us to catch any sort of feelings or anything like that. And honestly, we just became best friends. And then from there, it became even easier to fall in love with each other. So, I mean, just it's kind of hard to explain, but just like having that common ground of like the baseline of we're best friends and this is going to work out, you know, we're still going to love each other either way, on just a baseline, but it does make things a whole lot easier to, you know, goof around and have these fun times with him instead of like all serious all the time. Does that make any sort of sense?
A little bit, yeah. I want to go back to I want to stay on the best friends thing because like I'm a nitpicky kind of guy about, if you haven't noticed already in the 38 minutes we've been on. My question has always been, I elevate husband, wife, woman, man, lover, paramour, whatever you want to call it, as higher than a best friend. So when I hear somebody say like, oh, like I'm with them because they're my best friend, it's like, I don't know. Like, it seems like it's almost a demotion. I think it's, why can't we just say like, yeah, I've got a best friend. I don't want to do XYZ with my best friend. I have my woman, or I have like my girl, my chick, whatever. Because I don't know. What do you think about that? Or like for you, is it like if your boyfriend said, hey, like if he was like, hey, I'm your best friend, but like Chuck is my best friend, like would that piss you, would like that make you mad? Like what would you think about that?
I mean, like right now, we're not best friends. You know, I think the reason I say that is because we started dating as best friends. Like, and it just made it a whole lot easier. We already knew what makes each other tick. We already knew what the other person loves.
Were you not
So
interested in him romantically until a little bit down the line? Like, or it just didn't start off romantically?
It didn't really start off romantically. Not really. It was kind of
But he
like
wanted
casual
to.
dating. It
But
was
he
casual
really wanted
dating.
to, didn't he? You weren't quite sure, and he was like in love with you, and then you finally gave in. Is that what happened?
No, I think it was just a common basis. I can't speak for him.
When you know, you
but,
know.
you know, yeah,
That's
I think
fair.
so.
And you guys are still doing long distance thing now, or how's that working out?
No, we were doing long distance for the majority of our relationship. And now we're kind of traveling together and trying to figure out what's next for us, but on the same page.
Let me ask this question. This is where I'm getting at. And this is a question that this isn't really a question, but this is a comment. And this made me think of something. So I want to go around the ladies, and we just need like a quick answer. It doesn't have to be like a huge thing. Just we get to everybody. But can a relationship exist without romance, but that has best friendship? Or does it have to be does it have to be some level of intimacy? Or let me rephrase. Would it be better to be in a relationship without romance but best friendship, or a relationship without best friendship but romance? Like, what would you choose between the two?
That's a great question.
Anybody can go.
I mean, me personally, I think, you know, I fall in love with a person before. This is where women and men differ, I think, a little bit. Like, I have to fall in love with you as a person before I can fall in love with anything else. And with that, for me, becomes, you know, the intimacy aspect. So, me personally, I would love, you know, I love someone's soul, and then it becomes physical. But of course, I always find them attractive. You know, I'm not going to date a best friend that I'm not attracted to. So there has to be a baseline at least.
Who else? Rachel, we'll come back to you, I promise.
Can you repeat the question again? Sorry.
Yes. Sorry, I didn't phrase it very well. If you had to choose between two relationships, call them boy and girl relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. One is your best friends, but the romance is not there. Or the other is best friendship is not there at all, but extreme high levels of romance are there. Which one would you choose?
I think if it was for a boyfriend, I would want the second option you gave me, because I'm not looking for a best friend. I'm looking for a long-term partnership. And I have to have that intimacy level where we match, and the friendship that can always develop down the line. But what I need is this partner, someone that I can intimately connect with. So that's my top number one.
Anna, what about you? I see you shaking your head. Yes.
Yeah, I completely agree with Elizabeth. I'm not looking for a best friend. My girlfriends are my best friends. I couldn't just be with someone who's just my best friend and there's no romance and passion. I think the romance and passion should come. That would be what I would prefer, rather than just like living with my best friend kind of thing.
Rachel?
I don't have a good answer for you. I don't know what to say here.
Okay, you can defer.
I've been on both
That's all right.
sides of it, and I don't know which one's the right answer. Don't know.
Yeah. Okay. I only think one can exist, but I want to get everybody's answers. Monica?
So my ex was one of my best friends, but I have obviously my girlfriends who are my best friends, my guy friends who are my best friends. But I think like when I think of what a best friend is to me, it's someone that I can call when I need somebody for support. It's somebody that I trust. It's someone that I love. It's someone I feel safe with. It's someone I feel peace with. And so through that, I would need to have those foundations in a relationship. So for me, that could be qualified as a best friend, right? That could be in a relationship. So I think that would just kind of go hand in hand.
So which one would you choose of the two options I presented you?
Go.
You're not going to
Option
Jedi
C,
mind
it
trick
has to be
me. Do you
both.
know how many times I've done this show? You're not getting away with that. You got to be kidding me. All right, you got to pick one.
Best friend. You're gonna be my best friend.
Off. Good Lord. All right. Okay. But you got other guy friends. We need a male best friend for. All right, Angelina, what about you? Guy best friend or guy lover? That is a scammy.
Damn. I'm a lover girl at heart. I know I'm a little crazy, but like I'm a romance girl. I would probably say that there has to be romance because I don't believe that couples are always going to be BFFs all the time. There's many times where you kiss each other off and you're like, get the fuck out of my space. Go to the other room, sleep there for like the night. I don't know, something. And I know like in relationships, it's very normal, especially the longer you're in one, that you can and will fall in and out of love with the person you're with. And like, yeah, that friendship's important. However, what gets to that friendship, I feel like, is the romance. And once you know you can trust that person, whether you're in love with them or not, and you're still committed to them, you fall back on the friendship aspect.
Yeah, so it's like, I'm mad at that dude, but he's still hot, so it's okay. I'll just be not mad later. Versus like, I hate this guy, and he's ugly. What am I even doing here? Like,
yeah,
I mean, let's just call it what it is. It's fine.
If you're gonna be miserable with someone that's your type.
With a hot guy, I get it. I got it. That's fun. God bless honest women. Bethany, what about? I think we started with you. Yeah, we started with you, and then we went around the horn. Okay, that was a lot of fun. Rachel, I want to come back to you. We don't have to touch on this super long, but the point that I was trying to make was this. And there's not a fun way for me to phrase this at all. So please don't like come at me and take everything with a grain of salt.
No, this is all.
And I know you're a good sport. So it's like when an absolutely objective lens hears like, well, I wanted the house, he didn't. Like I wanted to do this because it's what we're supposed to do. We're like checking off boxes. It's like, and you're not the only person in the world that does this. So this isn't like a personal dig. Many people are like, I get it. Like raising status as a human being is a natural survival mechanism. Guys and women both want to raise their status. And there are things that guys do that raise their status. And there are things that women tend to do that raise their status. Like being a single woman is typically seen, disclaimer across the stream, as lesser status than being in a relationship. Being a girlfriend tends to be seen as less status than a fiance or a wife. Single mother without, single mother tends to be a little lower status than single regular. You know where I'm going with this. There's a hierarchy. But what's tough for guys to hear sometimes in that regard is like, she wants the fucking house. And more than she wants to be with me. It's like she wants to post on Instagram our kids matching outfits and like that she's living #mom life for the gram than she does like want to be my wife and be somebody that I'm spending time with. So this isn't a personal thing. I'm just saying like, I think there's a lot of women out there that are like that. I'm not saying you are. And I also think that's okay. I also think it's a normal thing. And I think it's a lot of outside pressure. And Angela, real quick, I promise I want to let you. And Angelina kind of said a little earlier before she reeled it back in. She's like, women are a little bit more manipulatable sometimes, or whatever that might be. So I don't know. And I'm not saying you're wrong for getting a divorce. I have no fucking idea, obviously. But
no,
I do
agree
think like that stuff pops up. Yeah, please.
I was just using the house thing as the example, as that was his task to be the leader, to get the house. And then he couldn't.
But you assigned it to him. He did say he wanted it. You're right. But it's like, if you're telling him like, hey, do this.
But anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
I agree with everything you say too. But no notes. You're correct.
You're a good sport. All right. Let's stick with you because you were off for a little while. Now, you are pretty close in age to Monica. You guys are very good friends, but you're dating completely opposite. She's dating for something a little more serious. You're dating, having a good time. Now, you've been married and divorced. She hasn't. I can understand that. But is the goal to go down the aisle again? Is the goal to one day have a family and have kids? Or like, what's the ultimate thing for you?
I don't know. There's no goal yet, and time will tell. I mean, like at the initial point of divorce, like probably the first thing in my mind was like, oh my God, am I going to get married again? And that that's just something that's in the back of my head. And the longer I've been single, the longer I've been like just doing my own thing, the less I want to go back to looking to get married. I mean, I am undecided about the kids thing. Like, I don't know. Everything is just, I'm kind of free flowing right now and just letting things happen. And I am a firm believer in like time will tell. We had pets together and we were doing joint custody. And I was like, well, we can't do this for 8 more years. Like, that's not sustainable. And I was like, time will tell. And 2 years later, I was like, okay, I'm ready to make a decision. So when I'm ready, I'll know. But for now, no long-term plans.
I might be completely wrong on this, but I don't think that I am, because I think you're pretty sharp. And again, if you don't want to talk about this, and if you're just like, dude, shut the fuck up, move on, fine, totally cool. But I like, there's got to be, and I'm not the only one, and I'm not saying you're the only one, and I'm just kind of, and I don't mean to pick on you a little bit, but you're very open. But is there a part of you that has that conversation with yourself sometimes? Because you have to hear this shit on the internet, like you're XYZ years old, like you're gonna have an XYZ pregnancy, like you're dried up, all this kind of shit. I know sometimes it's like just turn that shit off, but like, do you have honest conversations with yourself like about that, or is that like, we're not going down there, like push it down, I'll deal with it when it is necessary? Because it's uncomfortable, right?
No, I have friends who have had kids later in life. I have a really close friend and she gave birth at 41 and her daughter is thriving. There's studies coming out that like women can have kids later in life. There was something else I was going to say. I saw a new thing that now there's a statistic that it's more common for women to have babies in their 40s than being teen moms. So like in terms of where you were getting at there, I'm not too worried about that. And again, like I have things in the back of my head, like if I don't end up birthing my own child, like it's something that I am able to deal with. And even like my mother said to me on the phone, like, you do not have to have children. So yes, I would like to maybe have a kid.
Yeah.
As a woman, I would like to have the life experience of birthing a child. And you know what? If it's
that sentence belongs like in a textbook somewhere. Like it's so type A, it's hilarious. Yeah. As a woman, I want to be a part of the experience. I get what you're saying. Yeah. I okay. That answers my question. Yeah, I got you. I read you loud and clear. Other question, and then I want to, I don't know. This doesn't necessarily apply to a lot of the ladies, but you said like dating's not the serious, you date for fun. Do you ever get hate from other women that you don't take dating seriously, or that it's like, oh, you're just out to have fun? Because
no,
like
the total
nobody.
opposite.
Okay. They're like, girl power, go
Everyone
for
is
it.
like, I'm proud of you for getting divorced. Like, I have been an inspiration to other women. They're like, you're so brave. Like, so many people have reached out to me being like, oh my God, I saw you're divorced. I'm divorced too. And like, women just want to talk about it and feel seen and heard. And I've connected with so many other women who have like had not as good experiences and they need someone to like, I don't know, be there for them, be their best friend.
What have you heard of a guy being told that he was somebody's hero because he got divorced? What if I was like, yeah, man, this guy's my hero. Like I'm so proud. Like he's inspired me. I'm really, really proud and like Jack that he left that divorce and like kicked that bitch to the curb. Like, would you be cool with that?
Well, you were just saying that women are manipulative. So if he truly, genuinely had a really manipulative wife who treated him badly, yeah, then yes.
No, this is a perfect answer.
So good.
Here's why that's the most perfect answer. And I love doing the show. It's so much fun. Here's why that answer is perfect. Because to approve a man divorcing his woman, we have to go so to the extreme of like, well, the only way it's acceptable is if she's a crazy, batshit, manipulating gaslighter and he just had no other choice. Versus women are like, yeah, I kind of like the neighbor better. And my husband's kind of lazy and doesn't like rub my feet as often as I want. So I'm bouncing. And they're like, You go, queen, right? Like, isn't that crazy?
Okay. Yes, there's different standards for men and women. Yes. Okay.
I just think it's funny. I think Angelina, I think we brought that up on the last show you were here. But yeah, but isn't that nuts how it's like if we're like, we can't cheer for men that are getting divorced unless they're like getting stabbed for the most part.
That's true. Okay. Yes, there are different standards for men and women, but
I heard what I thought was so funny was I basically heard, you're the one girl who didn't get manipulated. Yes.
What, me?
That's good.
Yeah, that's kind of how you said it. It was
you
like,
did it, yeah.
Congrats, you got divorced because you weren't manipulated. You weren't manipulated to stay in it. You actually made it out. Congratulations.
You're not wrong.
And look, don't get me wrong. Like, it is what it is. I just like to ask these questions because I think a lot of, and I'm not expecting sympathy for it. And I don't expect, because whenever I say this, people go, oh, like, why are you crying? It's like, I just like to ask these questions because I think most women are like completely unaware to the average like men's experience or the way men are seen, because there's all this stuff going around about how men are evil and the patriarchy and you guys have all the power, and it's like most men ain't got shit. Most men are invisible. Like most men have to get stabbed in a marriage to even have somebody support them leaving in a divorce. It's always their fault, right? So anyway, not a complaint, neither here nor there. It's just interesting as part of the conversation. Angelina, though, you did say don't put all your eggs in one basket. So now listen, at the same time, like, is the same thing apply for men, right? There's a lot of guys out there that have a problem with the idea of dating multiple women at once, like non-exclusively. Would you have an issue with that? Like if a guy you're seeing is like got other options or got other women on the side, or like how would you feel about that?
So here's my thing. It's different dating around versus sleeping around.
Okay, that's fair. You don't have to sleep with people you're dating. I buy that. Yeah.
I think as far as dating around and you're trying to meet your match in a more serious manner, I think dating around, as long as all parties are aware of such things, then I think it's okay. But I wouldn't condone sleeping around with everyone that you're dating, because that's how not just, relationship problems happen, but like, STDs are a thing. So
do you think that applies to both men and women? Like, would you give the same advice?
Yeah.
Because I'd give that advice to women, but I would not give that advice to men.
I would give it to both parties.
Okay. Why do you think it's good for men to abstain from sleeping with women if they're trying to figure out if they like them?
I would say that when you share yourself with someone, it's because you're a little more interested. And no one wants someone that's getting passed around. I don't want like the neighborhood like dick that's getting like passed around from girl to girl. Like, ew. So
The neighborhood bike.
The bicycle, yeah. Well, okay.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
fair. I understand. But here's a question, or this is what we see a lot too. I was talking about somebody about this actually today. And if anybody wants to see this, I haven't done it yet, but if you guys want to comment and convince me to do this, I will do like a breakdown of Love Island episodes. I'll 100% do that. I'll 100% do it. So if people think that's interesting, I'll do it. But women love, just be honest, right? If you're going to do XYZ, if you're seeing other people, you're doing this, just be honest. Why? Because they want to know if they're like, no, I don't want to see this guy anymore. They want to say, well, if you're running around doing a whole bunch of stuff, I don't want to hang out with you. I don't want to see you. So it's like, it doesn't really behoove the guy at all to give you that answer or to be even honest when it comes to that. So it's like, how do you ever really know? A guy could be telling you, yeah, I'm not seeing anybody else, but like, you don't really know because it doesn't, right? Like, what benefit does he have? Because like, I've heard women say, hey, if you just want to get in, if you just want to like get it in, like, just tell me. He goes, oh, okay. He's just like, well, the answer is no, but thanks. He's like, well, that's what I get for being honest, right? Like the guy gets punished, not rewarded. So where's the incentive?
Here's the thing. It all comes down to consent too. So both parties have to be able to consent. So like if a guy's like, oh, I'm only seeing you, and really it's more than one person, and this person that he is with is like, oh, well, if that's the case, you're only seeing me. I think we're at this level. Maybe we can talk about intimacy. Well, you're taking their autonomy and technically that's almost like that's very rapey.
No,
Because
come
now they're
on.
consenting
There's
under
no
they're
way.
consenting
There's
under
no way.
false
No,
pretenses.
no.
Yes,
Angelina, you
they're
know
consenting
better than
under
this. I
false
know
pretenses.
you've been on fucking
I don't
Twitter.
know better.
You've been on Twitter way too much. We gotta take that phone away from you. No. Look, I understand. And like if we're talking about consent, that's completely different. Like consenting, I don't know. I just can't go that far with you. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm not making a judgment either way. My whole point is that dating is a war. Like dating is every person for themselves, right? Like there's really no, and it's this is stuff that I brought up before, right? Because it's like only one side of the equation are expected to do the honorable thing. Only men are expected to act against their own self-interests in dating. Women certainly are not. People are not telling, oh
right
no,
there.
absolutely. How are
No,
okay,
absolutely
explain.
not.
Okay.
Because
So how so?
I'm sorry, Moff, I cannot tell you the amount of times that I've had seen someone intimately and they're not technically, they thought that they weren't expected to be exclusive
That
with
is
me.
so
But if I was to go sleep around with different men, I would be crucified to the cross for being a bumblebee that gets around. Like it's a double standard. A man can do it, and all men will applaud that guy from going to women to women to women. But if a woman does it, she will get looked upon as a less desirable woman because she's getting passed around like the neighborhood bike. So
Well, there's two questions I have to that. One, like we can talk about the double standard, which I don't think exists, by the way, for a very simple reason.
Absolutely does.
Because men and women are different, therefore a double standard can't exist. A double standard only exists if you take two people that are the same and one gets preferential treatment for no reason.
If this is my standard, I think okay, so let's just say like sleeping with someone on the first date. If a woman does that and they sleep with a man on the first date, a lot of women would technically be like, "Oh, you should hold off until the next."
Yeah, women would say that.
Let me finish, Moff, because I'm not done yet. If a man does do that and he sleeps with the women on the first date, all the guys and even the women, they would not even flinch an eye. So it is a double
Yeah, but
standard.
Elizabeth, you didn't prove anything. You just repeated what you said already. That's not proving any points. You just repeated yourself.
Can I say something?
Hold on, really quickly. I don't want to get to this part yet. I don't want to go down the double standard rabbit hole yet. We will. We will go back. I promise. But I have to get this out because the question was this: in what way are women encouraged to act against their own self-interest in dating? Is sleeping with a bunch of guys and taking dudes home on the first date in your best self-interest? Is it what's good for you overall long-term in dating? So then if the answer is no, then it's a completely different topic. Like it's a completely different thing. We can talk about the double standard thing, but like no one is advocating women to, I would say like people are not advocating women to sleep around because they know inherently that it goes against women's self-interest. It's why the words slut and whore and whatever are still used as insults because we still know that that's inherently bad for women to do to themselves. So
I wouldn't even say that's why.
That's what I mean.
Mom,
Okay, go ahead.
Men are like psychopaths, and like you're more likely to get murdered on a Tinder date than you are to like leave with a relationship. So like, should you go bringing every guy home that you meet on a first date? No, because he might end up killing you.
Cut you from on a show. This is insane. You're like, you're gonna
I've
get
gone out with people from like 10 years ago that are stalking me to this day. So like, is that in any woman's best interest? No. And I have more than one stalker.
Yeah, but like, it's no big deal. No, I'm kidding. I get what you're saying, but like, I get what you're saying.
Also, another thing.
Continue. Okay.
Any man and or woman or whatever gender you choose to go out with, if you both are single, you should assume that either party is going to be dating multiple people until it is acknowledged otherwise.
And sleeping with them, probably.
Yes, exactly.
So why even ask?
I don't.
Why bother? Oh, okay, fair enough.
I will ask just because I want to know. If I want to know,
But like if they tell you, you're not going to know the truth, right? Like for the most part.
Well,
I would respect them more if they did.
Yeah, I just.
But how will you know?
And I would be like, you know what? I have more. So.
And then he would say, yuck. Gross. All right.
Yeah,
Let's go to the double standard piece. I promise. I want to try this again.
Are you ready?
I'm so ready. I do this for a living. What do you mean, am I ready? I'm born for this shit. You know how many hours I spend in front of this microphone? I can do this in my sleep. All right. So let's use a different example. Do you have more respect, or do you think it is more respectable, or it is worth recognition for me to go to my sink and turn it on to get water, or if I hiked 10 miles to a well and fish it out myself every single day? Which do you think is more worthy of admiration and acknowledgement?
If you go to that thing and do the 10-mile hike, I'm going to praise you because not everyone can do the 10-mile hike.
Yeah, 100%. So what sex is for women is going to your faucet in your kitchen and going, "Bup, I got water." What sex is for men is hiking your ass to that 10-mile well and filling up your buckets every single day and back. So that's why a man who sleeps with a lot of women, which is very, very, very difficult, and only a small percentage of men can actually do that, and even the ones that can strike out way more than they get lucky. And for women, like, hold on.
I never understood this. Sorry.
And what?
I never understood this, even in our last podcast. And I've talked to multiple different guys. I've never had them ever.
Are you saying you see my point, or you're still arguing with me?
I don't see your point. I never will see
You
it.
don't?
No, I don't.
That was the
You don't think it's harder?
Hold on, I didn't even get to finish my example before you interrupted me. No. Everybody shut up. Everyone shut up. Everyone shut up. I wasn't even done with my thing.
I'm going. I'm sorry. I'm done. I'm going to do the right off.
I love this.
I didn't even finish my example before you interrupted me to say you disagree.
I do.
Hold on. But I know, but do you understand how it's very difficult? You know, it's very easy for you to get in sex, right? Like you could walk outside and hold a cardboard sign up that says "line up here if you want to sleep with me," and you'd have a line around the block in about 5 seconds.
Same it is for a 6'5" hot man. It's not that hard for them. All they have to do is walk in the park.
Do you know how many 6'5" hot men there are in the world?
Well, I mean,
like 0.0000001%.
Maybe
and
like
even
6'1",
for that
6'2".
guy, but it doesn't matter. Even if a guy's tall, he still has to develop other things. Like he still has to be charismatic and good looking and work out and do all these things. Guys are not just getting by on height alone. I'm not saying it doesn't help, but there's still things they have to work for. To get women attracted to you as a man takes years for a lot of men. For women, you're just born with it. So that's why, because men are achieving something that's very difficult historically, which is the attraction of a woman, while women are just getting guys that want to sleep with them, which they can do just by existing. Like you could weigh 700 pounds and there'd still be a guy out there that would want to sleep with you. I could weigh 700 pounds and there's not a woman on the planet that would want to.
Correction. Some people just have the wrist. And if you don't, that's it. You just don't have it.
The what?
The wrist. The wrist. Just like what attracts people, or that aura, something that just attracts.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Men have to work to get that. They're not just born with it.
Sometimes you do.
No, Moff. They're either born with it or they're not.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Do you have the wrist or not? Just say it already.
This is hilarious.
This is testing me.
Thank you for entertaining me today.
Let's move on. Yeah, I should charge for this. That's all right. Yeah, I know. I don't know what you're doing here. No, I'm just kidding. You're always a good time.
Elizabeth, how many guys do you think, like what percentage of men have it that easy?
Well, I was just on the
Only the
phone.
men that are visible to her. Which is a very small percentage.
No, I had someone that I was just on the phone earlier with, and out of the 4 dates he was on, all 4 of the girls came back to his house. So my perspective on the man that I surround myself with or that I talk to, quite different, I guess, from yours, Moff. So I don't see
Well,
your.
yeah, because
that's one
that's
guy.
what I just
No,
said.
that's a lot. A lot. I have a lot of different guy friends, and they tell me all these things, and I see it myself when I go out with them.
Because there's only guys in your world that you exist and that exist to you and that you acknowledge because they're good looking and good with women. A loser dork who's bad with women is invisible to you, and it's okay. I'm not even getting mad. I was literally talking to somebody before this podcast, and I was like, I don't even know why we bring this shit up anymore, because it's like women only find 20% of guys attractive. They don't notice the rest of the 80. It's like, okay, yeah, so what? Fair enough. I don't know what to do with the rest of that. Anyway, okay, where are we on time? We're still doing okay? Cool.
Yeah.
Don't put the eggs in a basket. Oh, here's something I was gonna crush Anna on. Anna, you said bring back low-key dates.
Yeah.
With the fancy dinner stuff.
Yeah.
You said like the park is a good date, ice cream's a good date. They're
Yeah.
so
Love ice
unsexy. Like
cream.
I can't think of anything less sexy
Oh
than
no,
an
I
ice
do get
cream and a
that.
walk in the park. Like
No, I get that. I think
a coffee at Starbucks.
I think that's fun.
I see online a lot of, like, I guess you could call it pink pill content, where I guess some of these female and like notable female people in media are trying to teach women to seek dates with men that are very expensive, where the man is spending a lot of money on her. And it just seems almost like a transactional kind of thing, where I guess my point is a date should be more so about getting to know someone, having a good time, and seeing if there's attraction, seeing if you enjoy being around each other. It kind of, I guess, it does matter where it is per se. Like I mean, I personally don't agree with going to a man's house or something for a date, but I think low key is nice. I don't think dates should be about transactional finance kind of, I think I'm just seeing a lot of that today with the content online, just this pink pill, like, kind of use men for their finances type thing, which I just fundamentally disagree with. I guess that's the avenue I'm going with, not so much like, here, let's go to McDonald's and be unsexy together.
Right on. Yeah, I understand your perspective on that. And I do think it's rather crass and off-putting to hear
Yeah.
women talk about money and like financial,
Gross.
you have to spend X
Yeah.
amount of money. That being said, I understand where it comes from. Like women want men that can procure resources. They want to be a guy that has financial security, and a frugal guy is tough to find attractive, because
Yeah.
not because like you would think like, oh, he's good with money. It's like, well, it's like if he's so good with money, why can't he go make more? Right. So I think that's sometimes where this stuff's and also because like it's the internet and random women are getting flown like halfway around the world and all that shit's happening, and they're getting hit up by like athletes and rappers and shit. And it is what it is. That's the world we live in. So I get what you're saying in that regard. But man, what would you say if I said, I'm not saying I think this, I'm not saying I don't. I'm a question for all the ladies. What would you say to me if I said, hey, the only way a guy actually knows if he likes you or not is not until after he slept with you? You think I'm full of it? What's your response to that? Monica, you're shaking your head.
I mean, my first reaction is it's superficial. There's so many other things to base around, right? I also believe in motion of the ocean, right? And like working with what you have. But I think like, yeah, sex is super important too at the same time. But I think like there's so many other fundamentals to build on before all of that. Like, so you're asking the end goal if he knows like he can't go further?
What do you mean?
Like in getting to know me, like is that what you're saying, or what are you saying?
I'm not saying either way. I'm just saying it's a hypothetical, but I will indulge you. So where I'm kind of going with this is that a man's first and immediate and primary goal when he sees a woman that he's attracted to is sex. It's like the way we're hardwired. everything a guy is doing up to that point is to try to get sex, right? So a guy who will tell me, hey, she's really interesting, she's really funny, she's really smart, I love listening to her talk, she's amazing, I'm so interested. I say, okay, great. And then they sleep together. And then what happens? It all wears off. It's like, hey, man, turns out she's kind of fucking annoying. Turns out that she talks a lot. Turns out that she's really not that interesting, especially in the stuff that I want to talk about. And it wasn't until the male sex voice in the back of your head that's like, hey, dude, like, get going, like testosterone, what gets literal men out of bed every morning and going out in the world. When that shuts off, then, and there's, I don't know what the scientific term is for it. We call it like post blank clarity, but that's a real thing. So it's like when a man's not trying to sleep with you, that's when you'll figure out if a dude likes you or not. And how do you know he's not trying to sleep with you? You literally just slept with him. So that's how I tend to frame it, where it's like, I think it's, and don't get me wrong, I think it's tough for women because it's like, well, then what am I supposed to do? Sleep with every guy that I meet? It's like, yeah, it's fucking hard. Like, I don't know what to tell you. So I don't know. That's kind of my track with it, where it's like, if a guy's trying to sleep with you, which he is all the time, most dudes will say fucking anything, right? We already talked about that earlier, where guys will just lie. And the guys that do tell you they want to sleep with you probably aren't getting the chance because, like, you're, an honorable woman, all that stuff. So that's what I mean when I go down that road.
Just don't rush things. Like, take your time, get to know people in different settings, things like that. Like, I don't rush things. I make sure, like, I observe behaviors and patterns. I collect it like data, and that's kind of how I operate. Maybe that's a lame answer, but that's like,
I don't think so.
that's how I am.
I think that's fine. I think that's good advice for men, where it's like, hey, dude, like, because there's a subset of men out there, not a ton of them, but there are men out there that have told me, and I've met them, where they're like, we go home on the first date or there's not a second date. I've heard that. Now, there's also guys that say, like, the 3-date rule is also kind of the standard, where 3 should sort of be enough, because think about it like this too, especially if the guy's the one paying for the dates, he's kind of building up equity. It sounds crude to kind of say it this way, but he's doing that with the hopes, like, he's investing. Yeah, he might like you, but he really, like, wants to sleep with you. So it's like,
so then what's the worth in that, right? It's transactional. It's like, for me, it's like a
I understand.
Like, how you view people. And, like, I don't know. I just think that people are worth more than, like, an expensive date. Like, I've been taken out to some nice,
I think it depends on the person, but yeah, sure.
Yeah. So for me, it's like, I'm not going to, like, rush into that on, like, maybe like the 3rd date or things like that. But then that's not the person I would date anyways.
I understand. I'd be curious, and this, I don't even want to ask this is too personal. I will just say, for the internet's purpose, a lot of men will hear women say, hey, like, there's not a set number of dates, or it has to be X amount of time, or when I'm really comfortable. And they have gone home with a guy on the first date, or they had like a one-night stand, hook up in college, or this and that and the other. So the guy's response is like, you went home with the hot guy you met at the bar, who, like, ignored you half the night and, like, tried to make out with your girlfriend that you were with, and you went home with that guy. But you're going to make me, I want the same thing as him, but you're going to make me wait until you're, like, comfortable. No guy wants to be guy number 2. Every guy wants to be guy number 1. Every guy wants to be the hot guy that you just could not contain yourself over. So that's why when it's like, women say, hey, I just slept with that guy because I'm not going to see him again, so it's no big deal. And I made you wait 3 dates, sweetie, because I really liked you. That guy is hearing, like, oh my God, I'm the loser. I'm the loser that had to pay for 3 dinners while this guy didn't even buy her a drink. So that's where guys' heads go on this. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying this is where we go.
Right. No, guys view it as, like, a success, like a measurement, I think. And, like, women use it
because
more.
Sex is children, and children are our progeny, and is our legacy. And the more we have, like, the more important and high status we are. So yeah, it's 100% what we're driven to do. Because we spread seed. Like, that's what men are supposed to do, or born to do, or whatever it is. Okay. I know. Spread seed far and wide. Who else had a question? What is the perfect first date then? I'll ask you ladies. Like, ideal first date, what is it? I have mine, but I'm curious what it is. Anybody? Oh my gosh.
No one?
They don't even know what they want. Where's Angie when I need her? It's like, yeah, we don't know what we want. What do you want for dinner?
Well,
let's hear it.
Coffee in the park and a book. Come on.
Oh, good Lord. So hippie.
Disqualified. For me, I'm a beach person, so I would say I'm very big on like somewhere dinner wise near the beach because I feel like enjoying the sunset together is nice, but also being able to talk. So it creates like a good ambiance. It's good, hopefully good food, hopefully good conversation. But
Setting
also
the
if the
tone
date
for
sucks,
romance.
then yeah. Also if the date sucks, at least you got a great view and you know and whatever. So I feel like it kind of creates like little to no pressure.
If you like them, you can talk. If you don't like them, you can be like, just be quiet and let's just enjoy the sunset.
Just enjoy the sunset.
This is kind of an aside, but like I hear a lot of ladies go on dates that don't end up going on a second one. So that leads me to believe that guys are mostly are they talking themselves, because you had to go, like you had to build up the courage to go out with a guy. So he obviously got you to date number one. What does a guy have to do? Mess up, show up fat, not looking like his pictures, being as like, what does a guy have to do to get the first date and then turn around and not get a second date? Because there's got to be a change that happens on date one. Like, what is that like? Because I'm guessing you're going into that like with the intention, right? Of like, I like this guy enough. I'm guessing you're not going out with a lot of guys that you're like, not really on. You're like, you have high hopes, right?
I would say, yeah.
But like somewhere during the date, like that comes crashing down. So is it like more like the guy talked himself out of it? He wasn't like he presented? What are like the common reasons?
I've been catfished before. So like I've gone out on one date. I usually do second dates. There's only been like 2. I'm also super selective. But this one guy like looked like 30 pounds heavier than his pictures did on his profile. So that for me was like a no-go. Yeah, no, that was insane, right? I'm like, bro, like don't even look like
that's a lot.
There's a lot.
Literally.
I think we could I would do is FaceTime the individual, and once I FaceTime, I could see, okay, this is what they look like. But I think also it just depends like what that person's going on a date for. Like maybe during the date, you guys saw that they're not in the same wavelength, that they don't want the same things. Like someone wants to have kids, the other party does not want to have kids, and they don't want to get married, or vice versa. Or sometimes, unfortunately, they're not chemistry. There's no chemistry, or there's
it's boring.
Yeah,
different beliefs.
Yeah,
I feel like if that comes up, different beliefs could be a potential.
That's huge.
Is it?
Oh yeah,
is it that big a deal?
Like for some people, yes, but for some people, no. Like, but also like even religion or like just how people grew up. I feel like if there's stark contrast, either the person that you're going.
Yeah, but I thought we were molding ourselves. I thought we were molding ourselves to our future partners.
Put that in my
I'm just saying, I hear mold and I hear black and white differences. It's like,
depends how much I like this.
We're compromising, but we're also not. Like, what are we doing here?
How much do I like them? Okay, and what is he doing for me? And
but do you see from a guy? Because that's who we're doing this show for. We're doing this for guys that don't talk to a lot of women or that don't get really the opportunity to do this and that kind of thing. Just to kind of reveal how women think and how women talk about things. And so, like, how confusing is it when we've heard compromise, we've heard mold, but we've heard different beliefs and you don't have to do a thing, or like, what if they're this and they're cat? It's like this crazy. So a guy watching this is just like, what the fuck do you guys want? Do you want a guy that you can mold? Do you want a guy that's a partner? Do you want him to be your best friend? Do you want him to wait to the 3rd date or the 5th date or the 10th date? Like, right? Like,
wait till at least the 3rd.
But doesn't it depend on the person too, right? Like we're also
of course it does.
No.
But I think we are, and this is part of like where we might disagree, or I disagree with most people. I'll even say, like, I think we are so much more in tune and driven by our instincts than a lot of people would let you believe. I think it's like really, I think it's nice and idealistic to think like, no, we're all, you know, completely have 100% agency and we choose our own path and we're like 100% in charge of ourselves and our lives. But it's like, I think all that stuff's an illusion. I think we're driven by certain behaviors. And I think that it's evolution and we're deeply, deeply, deeply hardwired to do the things that we've always done. And so that's why I honestly think men and women are more apart now than ever, because I think we've flipped roles. I think that men are forgetting how to be men and women are forgetting how to be women. And it's like all of this push that we're seeing, it's just driving us further and further apart. Not to get on my soapbox politically, but in any case. But like I ask women, like, hey, do you want a guy that leads? Like we did it tonight, right? Well, yeah, as long as I agree with as long as I agree with him. It's like, well, it's not really leading, right? Like that's you just babysitting and making sure he's doing the right. That's like you looking over his shoulder to make sure he's doing his homework, right? Like,
I would say as long as they're leading with good intent. If they're leading with good intent and they're not like, ooh, I'm gonna lead her and I'm gonna fuck her shit up later.
Who's doing that? What
Some
guy is
people
like?
know. Some guys
What
are
guy
crazy.
is like a psycho
Mom.
who's just like, this
there
girl's
are
really
guys
nice.
out there.
No, there are not.
Yes,
See,
there
this is
are.
no.
You
Wait,
might
I'm
not
glad you
be
brought
one,
this
but
up.
there
I'm
are.
glad you brought this up. I'm so glad you brought this up. First of all, women are the ones that do that. First of all, it's
Ay,
y'all.
Dios mío.
Second of all,
Mierda.
Oh my gosh, no.
here's the thing.
No.
Men are just selfish. Men aren't malicious. Men are just selfish.
Exactly.
No, it's different. It's
Which
different.
can cause men to mislead women and lead them in the wrong direction.
What I mean by that is this: like, guys don't sit around saying like, "Yo, how can I have this girl going crazy and being psycho today just out of fun because I'm a sadistic MFer?" He will be like, what can I do today that benefits me? And if that happens to make this person sad or upset, like that's collateral damage. It's like the cost of doing business. That guys are selfish. I'm not saying guys are,
makes men bad
but I don't
leaders.
think they're maybe.
Thank you.
Well, maybe. It depends.
To be
It
a
really
good
depends
leader
on what
is
the
to be
guy's going.
selfless. To be a good leader for a woman is to be selfless, not selfish.
Yes. But I think what men see is hold on. I can do this all day. I think what women think is selfish, men think is selfless. You know what men think they're doing for their women? Protecting them, a lot of times protecting them from themselves and protecting them. And I know how crazy that sounds, right? Because it's like, no, I don't need you to protect me, dude. I know what I'm doing. But there are certain things that women will tend to do and like get into relationships or get into situations because of, call it manipulation, call it bad judgment, call it whatever. And we all do it. But when guys get into a tight spot, especially when it has to deal with like violence and really tragic shit, we have a much better chance than you at survival. And so it's like going out at night for men is going out at night is different for women. Like we all know that. But when a man says, hey, I don't think you should probably go to that thing tonight in this area of town wearing this thing because of all this bad shit that could potentially happen. And women say, that's controlling, you're insecure, I look good, I'm not going to change, I'm not going to do that, blah, blah, blah. They think he's being selfish and he thinks he's being selfless. He's like, I'm telling you something that you're not going to like because I wanted to save the relationship, because I don't want to put you in danger. The guy that tells you like, hey, bitch, do whatever you want, I don't even care. That guy doesn't care about you. Guys like, I don't care, wear whatever you want. That dude does not give a shit.
But
the
there's
guy
a
that
difference.
cares is the one that's like, hey, I don't think that's a good idea, even if that's what you want to do.
There's a difference though, because he had good intent. Hey, like you just said, hey, I don't think that's a good idea because this part of town, and blah, 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 blah. That's very different from a guy saying, oh, you're wearing that and you're going out dressed like that.
Well, after
really
it's
gonna
like
go
the
out
fifth
like that?
time I got to say something, then like, yeah, I'll probably say that. If this is like the third time, fourth time, fifth time we got to have this conversation and you keep testing me, I'm going to be like, what are you doing? How many times do I
Okay,
got to
but
repeat
then
myself?
if you're with a hot girl and you know she's a
see?
hot girl, be comfortable knowing that you bagged a baddie. Otherwise, leave
But
the
if she's
baddie
going
out and
out,
go bag
but
another
if she's
baddie.
going out and acting baggy in public for other people, if she's getting seen,
Why aren't you going with her? Pretending to be her security.
I got shit to
You're
do.
with the baddie. The
Why?
fuck?
No, why? Because we can just not go,
En
and then she can.
serio.
Because then I have to. So if stuff pops off, I have to be the one who's the vigilante, who's going to be
Can
the
you
one
fight?
sticking my
Mom,
neck out.
can you fight?
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
it.
You should be
Does
able
that
to
mean I
fight.
go looking
I'm
for
sorry.
fights? That's
Look
because
at
you want to go
yourself. You
dancing
should
in a
be able
club.
to fight.
I have to be a jiu-jitsu black belt just because you want to go out and dance at the bar.
Yes.
I have to train MMA just because someone goes shake your ass.
You should.
Depends
Or you
on
It's so funny. I gotta go.
You're not
I
good
have
for
to go
anything else.
literally train MMA.
that's it.
I gotta train
If you
MMA
can't
and
do
know how
that,
to
why aren't you
shoot
even
a
around,
gun.
Moff?
I got to do that
First of all,
just so
I
you
go
can
to
go
club so once I
shake
get
some
paid.
ass.
So I'll just
All
shut
right,
up.
let's reel this back in here. Anyway, the point I'm saying is I understand, but I think that's where guys get, and what's funny is I ask women about that. It's like, she's like, I broke up with my last boyfriend because he told me not to wear what I wanted to wear, go where I wanted to go. And I go, well, why do you think he asked those things and told you not to do that? Because he cared. He wanted to protect me. It's like, yeah.
Or he's
like,
insecure.
but why would he be insecure? Like, what does insecurity have to do with it?
Because he's not comfortable with himself knowing that, that she is
What is
where
it comfortable
exactly
about
she wants to be.
himself? What is it? It has everything to do with you.
Well, if you let me
Right?
finish
Like,
talking, I'm
I
sorry.
apologize.
There's some guys who will have a beautiful girlfriend and they want to go out with their friends on girls' day, and knowing that their girlfriend is beautiful, they will not literally but metaphorically shit on them or make them feel bad because they are the ones insecure with not knowing where they are in the relationship. And
When you say
if-
shit on, like, what?
Well,
Like criticize their
Meaning, like-
outfit or what exactly?
yeah, like criticize them or make them feel bad for even wanting to go see their friends or go have a girls' day or whatever the case is. And it's all because they're on the inside, they're not feeling secure enough in the relationship.
But do you see how that kid? So do you see how if that's your excuse, then you can just tell your guy no anytime you want? Because if he's telling you, he's never going to say the words, I'm insecure. He's going to say, I'm looking out for you. I'm looking out for your protection. I don't want you going out and doing these things that will potentially jeopardize your health and or the relationship. And I'm telling you, this is the truth. And you can just turn around and look at me and say, actually, I know internally this is insecurity, so I'm going to go out anyway.
But there's a
Right.
difference with communicating and also knowing where boundaries are and being able to communicate whether, hey, this could potentially be dangerous, or hey, are you going to go look for someone else potentially? Or what if someone else tries
Who
to
would
hit
answer
on
that
you?
honestly? What are you talking about? What girl's
Me.
gonna be like,
That's
yeah.
why I'm saying it.
What girl's gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna go out and find a
Me.
new dude. Yeah. Somehow I don't doubt that. You're just
I
that
used to
bitch.
joke
Oh my
around
God,
Just
with
that
love
bitch,
my
huh?
exes. I used to joke around with my exes and be like, I'm gonna go get bitches tonight.
That's horrible. Your shit would be out so fast. Like the locks would be
But bitches
changed.
would be actual women, like not like
I'm
men,
looking
because
for
then I
a
would joke
different
around like,
angle.
if I'm gonna go get anyone,
Okay,
like I
just
get
to
hit on
throw
by
a
women
little-
more than men.
A
Go ahead,
little
Rachel.
tidbit in here. Most of the time, women dress for other women, just so you boys know.
That
So if
part.
they're dressing
Say it again,
like
Rachel.
flashy,
You're dressing
it's
for attention.
Say
Like,
it
we don't
again,
care.
Rachel.
a little bit, but it's
But
like
like
we
you
dress
get-
for other girls. Like girls
Say
can't
it louder for
explain
Moff.
the feeling to you when Monica and I show up in our outfits and we're like,
Yeah, no, literally, I do it
Okay,
for my.
we're a
but, like,
different thing. We're a
what
different
makes an
species.
okay, but
in
like
that
what
regard.
makes an outfit good or appealing or aesthetic?
Whatever makes you feel comfortable and sexy in
Confident.
your own body.
For who? Sexy
For
for who?
yourself.
What is
For
sexy?
yourself.
You're not sexually attracted to yourself. You're
Yes,
sexually
I am.
attracted to men.
Speak for yourself.
So when you think sexy, you think is how this is sexy to make the opposite sex want to plow me. That's what sexy is.
No, if I look at myself
Yeah.
and say, damn, I would bang me, that's sexy.
Sex. Yeah, everything is about sex appeal. That's what I'm saying.
But not for other
point I'm
people. Like
making.
other people don't look at me, but for myself, I'm dressing for myself. I want to know that I look hot because then it's a confidence thing. Like what Monica and
But
Rose will
what
say.
it's hot
I
to
want to feel
who?
good about
For
myself.
what? Like
To
hot
me, because I like to be a
definition.
baddie.
when you say someone looks hot, you mean they look sexually attractive to the opposite sex. Like that's like the definition of it.
No, that doesn't necessarily mean hot. I mean, hell, someone could be wearing a turtleneck sweater and fucking nerd glasses, and that could be sexy.
We're changing
too.
definitions now. Yeah, but
No,
sexy means
really
but
being
sexy means sex.
That's what was on the
Hot
dictionary.
means
No, it
sex.
doesn't.
Regardless
Let
of
me
what you
look it
find
up.
hot or
I don't
sexy,
believe you.
No, it
hot and
doesn't.
sexy means
What
sex.
hot means, because I don't believe what you just said.
Well, if I'm speaking
What
from my own
planet do I
experience,
live on where hot and sexy doesn't mean sex? What are we talking about?
well, here's my thing. For me, in particular, I
It's always
am
me.
very
See, I told you guys earlier.
sapiosexual.
It's always me.
And I think
Go ahead.
for me again right now, I'm sapiosexual, so I'm like very like attracted to people that are like intelligent. I don't go off looks; I go off intelligence. So like, are looks a plus?
Yeah, I would
That is the
Absolutely.
biggest. That is
No, there's no way.
No,
Okay.
I am
Show
more
me-
attracted
show me
That
to
is the
someone
biggest
wearing
load of
glasses.
shit. That is the
Boyfriend
biggest
who's
crock
ugly,
I've ever
but has a
heard.
master's degree. Like, show me
There's
one of your
no
boyfriends
way.
who's ugly but has a PhD. You do
I
not
just showed
go
you
for
an
intelligence.
ex-boyfriend who is fucking ugly, and he stalks me to this day. But I won't put him on this because I don't want a lawsuit. But I
He's
can
your
show you.
ex.
Send it
He's
to
your
me,
ex.
and then I will believe you.
I'll send it right
He's
fucking
your
now.
ex. It doesn't
With
matter.
me.
He's your ex. It doesn't matter. He's your ex.
I'll show you right now.
All right,
Still,
this is.
I never dated an ugly guy
It's
after
not
that,
off
but
the rails.
also I have always dated smart, intelligent men. I will say that.
But if it's in smart, I can't. I can't.
Yes, you can.
You're really good at this. I want you to come on more often. You're a lot of fun. All right.
Guys just needed
Let's,
an advanced degree, and they got Angelina.
No, man. Like the biggest takeaway is that you need to be a cage fighter. You need to put in hours and years of work to fight just so your girl can go shake a little ass on a Thursday night.
Yes.
That's what
Thank
they're
you.
expecting. Like
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now you get it.
I've cracked the code. Like, men, get in the gym, learn how to fight so you can
Bad
get
girl,
beat
be a
up.
bad girl.
Your girl can twerk in the club. All right. We're starting to come up on time here, ladies. This has been a lot of fun. Is there any questions that you all have that you want to ask me and Spence about anything?
Yeah.
What are
Like
we
your
doing?
thing
Island
about us,
talk.
about us. Like, go for anything you want. Nothing's off limits.
Okay. It's time for you to be in the hot seat.
Hit me.
What
Ooh.
is your take
Ooh.
on the dating scene, especially when it comes to dating apps and sleeping on the first date?
I think dating apps are a tool and they belong in every person's tool belt. I think that meeting people in person is fine. I think that meeting people via social circle is fine. I think meeting people at work is fine. I think that dating apps have solved a major efficiency problem for a lot of guys where, dudes don't have time to go walk around and meet women all the time. The online thing is, I think, been really good. In other ways, I think it's been really shit. I think that Instagram is the best dating app, but I think Instagram and dating apps are the two sides of the same coin. I think Instagram takes a really long time to build up. I think a dating app you can build up with like 4 or 5 pictures. So I think dating apps are hard. I think they're hard for men because most men are dog shit at taking pictures and have really boring profiles. And I think they're hard for women because women have so much endless choice. It's like walking into an ice cream shop that has 10,000 flavors. Like, how long is it going to take you to pick one? How many samples are you going to want to take? It's crazy versus a guy that goes in and like to an ice cream store and there's literally no ice cream. What the fuck's he supposed to do? Sleeping on the first date, I don't care either way. I think if a woman does it, it is a strong positive sign that she really likes that guy and is really, really attracted to him. I think guys that think that women sleep on the first date are somehow sluts or whores or whatever and trash them, they're guys that don't get laid on the first date. So they have to cope and say, no, that girl's a slut. It's like, no, dude, she just doesn't like you. And she's making you wait. And she's giving it to the guy she really likes. So I don't have a problem with it either way. I also don't recommend every woman does it because it's like, we know there are negative connotations when it comes to having a high number of sexual partners. I don't have the perfect answer, but I don't have a problem with it in any way, shape, or form. Like if that's what 2 people want to do, go for it. I think for men, the faster they sleep with a woman, the better for them. But I don't think a guy should wait a certain amount of time or should push for it. I just say like, it's up to the guy. If he wants to wait 3-5 dates, if he doesn't, whatever.
It was the question was take on dating apps and sex on the first date. Is that right?
Yes, and your take on just dating and overall.
I pretty much have the same opinions as Moff. It's like dating apps. Well, okay, this is where I'll be a little bit stronger on dating apps. I think for most men is a complete waste of time for most men, except for Instagram. Like most people don't call Instagram a dating app, so that's why I won't lump it in there. But building up a social circle, building up your Instagram, I think is a way better use of time for men. Like I'll ask all you girls here. I'll start, Elizabeth. The last 5 guys that you dated, how did you meet them?
In person.
Okay, in person. So social circle.
No, I have events.
Yeah. Okay, events. So like, yeah, an event you went to, or maybe someone introduced you. Probably someone introduced you at that event. Okay. Rachel, the last 5 guys you dated, how did you meet them?
In real life, probably Tinder. I don't know. In real life, I'm like 50-50 Tinder in real life.
Okay. Anna.
I met my boyfriend off Tinder.
Okay. Angelina.
In no particular order. I've met one on vacation. I've met one almost on a blind date recommendation from another friend. There was another one from fucking Bumble. What else? I mean, I lived in San Diego. For a long time. It's very hard to go to the beach and not meet someone military at the beach. So take that as you may. What else? I don't think I've ever dated anyone from Instagram. Oh, I will say when Vine was a thing, I did date from Vine. Good times.
From Vine?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
crazy, right?
Okay, but I heard one Bumble and then mostly in person or a friend introduced me.
Yeah.
Cool. Monica.
Through a friend, Hinge, and Bumble. So yeah.
Okay. So like a couple dating apps here and there across all of you, but almost like besides Anna, all of you said in person or a friend introduced me for like at least half of the guys that you dated. So like it's way more common that girls are dating guys by a friend introduced me, or I went to an event and I met this guy at an event. Like it's very rare that you are actually dating a guy long term that you met on Tinder.
Oh, actually, no, I wouldn't say that because I've met a lot of guys online, and this is like years ago, of course, but where I've had long relationships with people that I have met online. I almost married a guy that I met on a dating app. So.
Okay, but when we look at like the last 5 guys that you dated, which is going to be like, what are your actual dating habits? It was mostly in person or a friend introduced me. And if we look at on dating apps, it's like it is filled with guys and a small set of girls. Moff, do you remember what the stats are on like men to women on dating apps?
Dating apps, it's close. It's like 70-30 men to women.
Yeah.
And on Instagram, it's like 55% women, 45% men.
Worse. Yeah. So for most men, it's an absolute waste of time. Like learning how to build up a social circle, how to have friends, like how to have a group of friends that introduce you to other people is way better. And then the second part of your question was about sex on the first date. For men, I don't think it matters at all. For women, they probably should avoid it because, well, I'm not going to say avoid sex on the first date, but I'm going to say avoid sleeping with every single man that you talk to. Because that's not going to give you a good image long term. But like, I don't think there's a problem with sex on the first date if it's the right guy.
Also, you don't know what they have. You dirty dick. No, I'm just kidding.
It's a family show. Angie.
Never mind. I stopped
Family show
myself.
right here. Oh my goodness.
I could have said
got
words.
demonetized.
No.
Yeah,
Or
don't we
you
know
make
it?
more money.
Don't we know it? Yeah, we already know. We know. We're well aware. Anything else for us, ladies? Give me anything.
When are we doing this Love Island podcast? I want in. I want to talk shit.
I was gonna do. Well, the thing is, it's tough to do. I was gonna do it. I was gonna do a video. Then I was like, screw it. I'm gonna do it live. But then when it's live, you can only play like 5 or 6, 7, 8 seconds at a time. Then you have to stop and like talk about it. So it's like, I've got to figure out if there's an episode I want to do. I've got one in mind, but like they're like 45 minutes, and so I would have to pick clips I wanted. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm looking for new material all the time. And so, a lot of people watch this stuff. It's popular, but there's stuff on there that I see that I'm like, oh man, like if he just said this or did this, he'd be crushing it, but he's like doing X, Y, Z. So yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out. It'll be fun.
Let's just create our own dating show for people.
Yeah. What, me and you?
And we can judge them. Yeah.
Oh Lord. What do you like? What? Judge them how?
I don't know. However we want.
Well, there's going to be a lot of more dating content coming this way, like to this channel. So we'll maybe we can figure it out. I don't know. I'm on the fence about you. I'm not quite sure about you yet. We'll see. But
I give great advice.
See, I have a hard time believing that.
I'm just too honest. That's the problem. I'm too
honest. Too honest. Yeah. Okay. All right.
It's a blessing. What can I say?
I know. So it's being this handsome. All right. If that's it for tonight, ladies, if there's anything else, we can go ahead and start to wrap it up there. This was a lot of fun. As always, we had a lot on tonight. We didn't have always the best internet connection, but you're all welcome back on. We'd love to have you again. We're going to do these every week. So, if you're ever bored on a Tuesday at 8 o'clock, just let us know if you want to hop on. We're going to try to do these every single week, barring traveling and things like that. And we had a good time. So I'm glad we can have kind of dialogue like this and make fun of each other and poke fun and still laugh and have a good time. So it's always, yeah, right. It's always a good time with you all. We had fun. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap there. Guys, no navigating modern dating this week. If you hadn't seen, like Eaton had something to do. So TC was not going to be here this evening. And then we should be back next week. I think we still got to figure out what time slot we're doing this show because we were doing NMD at the same time. So we'll figure all that out. Just stay tuned. But we might still do them on Tuesdays. But ladies, again, thank you for taking the time. Stay in touch. And hope to see you again soon.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you.